So what we've got here is the maiden, the mother and the crone. The 3 stages of life, they used to think. This is us as humans. The female experience, the maiden, and then becomes the mother, and then becomes the crone. And I'm sure there are millions of other archetypes that haven't been mentioned here. I'm just looking at these archetypes, so don't shoot the messenger. I didn't make it up, okay? The maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality and precarious purity, otherwise known as the virgin, the princess, the innocent. She is compelling and addictive. Because of her flawless and youthful glow, she is the first archetype in the trifecta of maiden, mother, crone, and rightfully so, because she has oh so much to learn. The maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamoured by the charms of youth. The maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. This card means curious, enchanting, sensual, full of vitality. Moving from the maiden to the mother is challenging, often leaving unresolved tensions between the 2 archetypes for years, if not a lifetime. Do you long to be rescued by another, or receive a kiss that brings you back to life? Be wary of waiting for a prince. Break the spell of your own life. The mother, the great mother, the feminine, the source. We begin our archetypal story with the mother's love. Through her sensual, fertile and life-giving energy, all creation takes form. Regardless of our birth story, each of our hearts beat for the first time in the warm womb of the mother, where she offered resources from her body for the building of our own. Yet her tale is not so simple, as the mother, especially on the earthly plane, contains both light and dark aspects of the feminine. With the best of intentions, the mother wraps her loving arms around her creations and begins to grip what she meant to set free. And the mother both nurtures and prohibits growth. She gives yet clings, she creates yet restricts. Amid this complex energy, the mother holds the key to the eternal challenge of love. It means glowing, generative, creative, nurturing. Beautiful card, isn't it? Oops. The mother is part of the trifecta maiden, mother, crone because of the relationship between them. Take special note when these cards appear in one reading. Notice how the mother archetype is expressed in nature. This is perhaps the most balanced and benevolent form of the mother's grace. The crone, the witch, the old woman, the sage. Oh yeah, she's got a nice crow. Look at this. The crone. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden, mother, crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smouldering, taking life and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. It means magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, wise. Interesting. The crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. The crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night and the moon. Okay, so should we open some cards for these stages of life? And the reason they are stages of life is because you can't be the maiden at 70, can you? Imagine a 70-year-old virgin. It's possible, I suppose. It is possible. The mother. Shall we use the mirror-like one? It's got deep reflection because it's everywhere, isn't it? Maternal is everywhere. And the crone, it's got a deep, rich knowledge. We're going to put the blue one there. Or which one of these archetypes appeals to you? Really? And watch me shuffle the cards, because the same cards keep coming up even though I've shuffled them. And I have shuffled them thoroughly. Shuffle, shuffle. The maiden, the mother, the crone. I think a lot of people have interesting relationships with their mothers, don't they? You know, it's one of the most important relationships a person can have. It sets you up for the relationships for the rest of your life, doesn't it? Really? Or not? Because if somebody's had a relationship with their mother, that's put them off women, or it's put them off having friendships with women. Some people have a relationship with their mums and then go, yeah, well, I don't want to be like my mum. I don't want to be... I'm trying not to let these cards fall out because I'm pretty sure they're going to be the same cards that have already been out today and yesterday. People look at their mums and go, I don't want to be like my mum. So then they choose the opposite of them, how their mum is or was. And yet at the same time, they're still being massively influenced by this archetype, aren't they? Of the pattern that was laid down by their mum. It's still there in the background, even though they're not being that. There's the idea that the reason why they're choosing this different path is because of the path that their mum showed them. So their mum is still the blueprint of what they're doing. Are you with me? Is anybody following that? Right, so it's like, supposing your mum was an Olympic runner, and let's use extremes because archetypes do tend to be extreme, don't they? Let's say your mum was an Olympic runner and you watched her spend every waking moment of her life thinking about running, talking about running, thinking about the food she was eating because of the running, you know, and you saw it consume her life, and you promised yourself, I'm never going to be like my mum, not going to do that. You can either never run, don't run, not having running in your life, not having exercise in your life, not having any form of control or discipline over your physical nature, yeah? And you might succeed at that. More likely, you will find something very similar to running that doesn't look like running, but it's a goal. So you might decide to become a barrister or a lawyer, or insert your own thing that appeals to you, that would be all-consuming, that would take up all your time, that you'd spend all your time talking about, all your time thinking about. Are you with me? So you become the archetype that your mum laid down. It may not have been running, and you might not be an Olympian, but you have to ask yourself, are you still just behaving exactly like your mum did, but in another area of your life? She lays down the patterns for you, and then you follow them. Because what option have you got? The option you've got is to follow someone else's pattern. Have a look at someone else's mum and see what they're doing. Are you still being true to you by your choice of what you want to do with your life? Are you creating life for yourself, or are you just copying what someone else has done in a way to function in the world, as a way to cope with, you know, the structures that we live within? There's only so many types of roles we can play, and that is the point of this archetypes. We are playing a role, but the mother role is very powerful because of the extent of the influence that you have on another human being. You know, the crone, you're influential when people ask you about things or not. People tend not to ask you because the truth is powerful, and people tend to avoid that, don't they? And the maiden, that's your life experience of the beginning. It's the start of your life. It's the fun part, it's the new part, it's the novel part, it's experiencing things for the first time, and that's part of who you are. But once you become the mother, then you have the responsibility for another person. Your life changes, doesn't it? Hugely changes. Of course, you can't avoid that. You then become another person, and you have to decide what sort of mother do you want to be, and half of that gets decided by what sort of child you've produced. And it all becomes very complicated, doesn't it? But do you see what I mean about the idea of the Olympian? Even if the Olympian mum produced children that never exercised, the reason they never exercise is because they're rebelling against the mum. Right? So that blueprint is still there. It's not gone away. Okay, let's have a little look at these cards, shall we? Let's put the crone over there, and then put the mother to one side, and we'll have a look at the maiden first, because that is the natural order of things. Person becomes a maiden first. Oh, look at the giraffe. It's a very innocent creature, very loving, rising above earthly matters, gliding through life with grace. You're able to see the right path, stand tall in your self-worth, and love with a big heart. And it's that first love, isn't it? The first flush of youth, where just loving is easy, and wholeness, and still being complete, and bringing through a feeling of wholeness and wholesomeness from spirit. Surrender and release. Okay? The hanged man is like waiting to become the next part of your life. And people are often in a rush to grow up, aren't they, when they're young? They want money, they want material wealth, they want a relationship, they want life to happen to them, they want to be happy. They don't have no idea how to get this, but the world will cheer them on. Doesn't matter what direction they take, everyone will cheer them on. And here it is again, the flowering card, because everyone loves to see them blossom, because it's something new, and there's the eternal hope from this person who's going to bring about something new, and the world loves that. Fantastic. Wonderful, thanks for watching. The mother card, let's see, she's got the little pearl of life in her hands, and it reflects on everyone, the extent of her influence. It's huge. Reflects on the whole world. Abundance. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep trying to put that little one in there, but it won't stay. The uncontrollable mother. Cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. Okay, so being grateful for motherhood, and being grateful for your mum, and trusting. And there's a trust between a parent and child, isn't there? That is very painful if it gets broken. Oh, and the mystery of motherhood, the mystery of it all. The Seven of Cups, the King of Coins, the Two of Swords, the Move, the Breakdown. Look at this. What is this card? Look at this. Clinging to the past, and that is the story of the mother. The mother bringing up another human that may or may not be grateful and dealing with that, and then having to let go. And that's the hard part, isn't it? Not clinging on to the child, because the role of the mother is to grow the child up and let them go out into the world and make their own mistakes, make their own decisions, and trust that Spirit has got their back. So there's only a limit to what you can do as a mother, isn't there? But it's just the most natural thing in the world, isn't it, to worry about your children. However, there are some things that you're not meant to know. You can't know everything about your children, and you have to just trust that they know what they're doing. Let them go and grow up and do their own thing. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hey, the Crone. The Crone. This is the wise, apparently wise. Just somebody's old doesn't make them wise. The Crone is an archetype that has put the work in. Not all old people are wise. Okay? The same way, not all young people are innocent and loving, and not all mothers are grateful for their children. The Crone, not everyone is wise just because they're old. But this card says Sea Turtle Protection. You are master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. Okay, so you've got everything you need. And you've been kissed by the fairies. Again, that card came up earlier because it's the blessing of being able to communicate. And the healing card comes up. Well, I'm not surprised. By the time you get to Crone stage, you're going to need some healing. Nine of Swords is the thinking, negative thinking. And that's understandable because the more you go through life, the more you pick up things that are going to be tarnishing your view of the world. But a perfectly balanced Nine of Coins, the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Coins and the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles, it's working for money. Having a King of Pentacles as well, having someone around that can also bring you happiness and joy. And this card, the comparison card, is the killer of all happiness and joy. Comparison. So that's the area to use your wisdom. So the comparison card is asking you to stop comparing to other people, stop looking at what other people are doing. The only thing that matters is what you're doing. If you compare your stuff to other people's stuff, you're going to come up wanting, because as humans we've got a nature to compare ourselves to people who are doing better than us. We don't compare ourselves to people who are worse off, we look up. Right? And how is that going to make us happy? And if we look down and compare ourselves to people who are worse off than us, we're still trying to put ourselves in a box that says, oh, this is where I am compared to someone else, and you've got no idea how that person got to be in that position, or why they're there, or what they've had to sacrifice to get there. The only story that you can know is yours. The only way you can know where you're going is by looking within, how you feel about what's happening for you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. The Maiden, the Mother and the Crone. I've literally just done a few readings about these, the trifecta, the Maiden, the Mother and the Crone, but I feel like the readings don't do justice to the meanings of these archetypes, so I'm going to do some readings for each of the archetypes. Okay, so I'm going to put the Mother and the Crone to one side, and today I'm just going to focus on the Maiden. So this card is for people who are full of vitality. Full of vitality. Stones that are full of vitality. And I've picked this one up, but I'm not sure what colour that is. Can you see what colour that is? Is that sort of really dark red with a scar across it? And this one has got lots of mottled colour. This is a red Jasper, but it's got lots of damages done to it. It's a bit ropey, honestly. It's an Amazon purchase. What do you expect of Amazon, right? What do you expect? This little stone is very smoothed out, and it looks like it knows where it's going. I'd say that's an ambitious stone. And this one is loving and full of hope for the romance that's yet to come, because this is at the start of life, isn't it? But it can also be at the start of new love and new phases of life. It's not just for people who are under the age of 21, right? So let's open the cards for these stones. I'll put the Maiden to one side for the moment, and then we'll make some card piles. You can choose whichever stone appeals to you, whichever one you feel like, oh yeah, I can relate to that loving one, or I can relate to that one that looks like it's already been through the ropes half a dozen times. Which one appeals to you, dear lovely YouTube watchers? Now, the order I do these cards, I like to try and do the oracle cards first, so the oracle cards get laid out first. But of course, in a pile, as you put them down, the tarot ones come to the top, don't they? So maybe I should be shuffling the tarot cards first, so the tarot cards are at the bottom. But there you go. We're on tarot reading number 84, and I've only just figured that out. And this is what happens, isn't it? Process of life. This is why having somebody teach you how to do readings and learning from someone else who's already done it and knows what goes on behind the scenes saves you so much time. Because if you're determined to learn the hard way, which apparently I am, you're going to have things happen which delay the process of people finding you on YouTube, of people recognising that they enjoy the tarot readings, right? Because you're doing things wrong and you don't even know that that's what you're doing. So forgive me, dear people, that are bearing with me and looking at my little YouTubes every day. I'm going to be doing all of these archetypes, and forgive the noises in the background. I live next door to a pub and every day they're out there either late at night or early in the morning, and today it's emptying the glasses. That noise of glasses being reeled out, taken out to the recycling. And I have found that when I sit down to do the tarot readings, there's a lot of noise in the background that I don't notice the rest of the time, you know, like the planes going over or the cars honking outside. I've sort of switched off to it now. In fact, I've switched off to it so much that one of my friends went past the other day and she saw me stepping out and she bibbed and I ignored her. That's how used to it I am, and I didn't even acknowledge the car bibbing. Didn't even notice one bibbing because it happens so much. It's just like background noise, you know. So I'm going to open these cards and we're going to read a story for the maiden. And I'm going out to work, and there's the siren, as if on cue. And a seagull joining in. It's like the seagull is cawing in answer to the police siren. And there's been a lot of fires in the UK yesterday. It's the 20th of July and it's supposed to be down to 31 degrees today. Down to 31 degrees. It was nearly 40 degrees here yesterday. It was just unbearable. It's just like a day of existing and getting through it instead of a day to enjoy. If that noise sounds like an ambulance, that one. Got pink fluff stuck on the tarot cards. If you're still with me at this point, the lovely readers who are watching me do these shuffling, well done, because there's not a lot to be learnt from me today. I think it is because I haven't had enough sleep. I've been dehydrated for a couple of days probably, and then I'm going out to work in a minute. But I'll do my best as I'm shuffling these to get into this place where you need to be to see what spirit bring through for you during a reading. Okay, but I'm not holding out much hope today because of the, like I say, the conditions that we've been experiencing in the last couple of days have been just horrendous in the UK. It hasn't been pleasant at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do them in that order today. So spend some time just looking at your little rock there, and see which pile appeals to you. Which pile appeals to you? And this reading is going to be about things that you need to learn, where you need to learn things, and areas that you're missing information and learning, as a way to shore up your boundaries and learn it in advance. And that way, hopefully, you can be forewarned. Forewarned is forearmed, right? But we don't know what this card's going to say, so we're just going to open them up and see what cards you get. So this lovely little card, this lovely little stone that is an ambitious stone, I feel, because it's got its point, it's like it's going somewhere. Okay, so it's still fully rounded, it's still got curves which suggests it's got a gentle side to it still, the white stallion making a charge for freedom. And this is personal choice. Oh my goodness, this is only the second time I've had this card come up. And I had this card come up for someone when I was doing a tarot reading for them and a tea leaf reading, and that was the first time this one had come up. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. It's like you're writing your own page. And this is the theme with the maiden. You're still playing the cards from an open book point of view. There's still room for romance and love. The Page of Cups. This is a young man who's very emotional, bringing you his heart. The Nine of Swords is mental issues and worrying mentally that things aren't going to work out. But this is the Fool, stepping out. The Fool is actually a perfect card for the maiden. Four of Pentacles. There's a young female sitting opposite an older male who's in a professional setting. Now, I always see this card as like an interview for a job, and the Four of Cups asking you to have a balanced emotional state. When you're looking at a relationship with another person, you're not there to be the interviewed one, okay? Just a reminder. What is this card? This is the Ace of Wands, but it's a mop. This is also a reminder not to be a Cinderella, okay? Do not be treated any less than you deserve. And this flowering card is perfect for the maiden because it is blossoming and coming into your own. And there's absolute pointless me saying there's no rush, okay? And there's no need to rush into anything because that's what we do. It's the impetuousness of youth, isn't it? We young people are just so determined that they're going to go out and have what quite possibly they think is going to be a happy ending actually just turns into a life of drudgery and being a servant to someone. So here's your warning. Learn that there are people out there who will interview you for your relationship status with them to see if you're good enough, to see what they can get you to do, to see if they can get you to do the cleaning, the cooking, the ironing for nothing, right? Just for a little bit of love. Or there's the people who will offer you their whole heart and will be completely loving and honest and kind with you, and it's equal to and fro, backwards and forwards between the two of you. That's healthy. So this spread is reminding you or asking you to learn about what healthy relationships look like. You can't tell from the outside what healthy relationships look like. So if there are people around you who have been in healthy relationships for a long time, ask them what it is they do on a daily basis that keeps their respect for each other and their kindness towards each other alive, and how they knew that the other person was the right one for them. When you're with somebody who's been, I was going to say reciprocal, but who's been the same loving to you as you are to them, there's no doubt, there's no confusion, there's no second guessing why they're saying what they're saying. You're not left wondering, or on the end of a telephone conversation that hasn't happened for 4 days or whatever. When somebody really cares for you, they're there. When you care for someone, you're there. If you're being there for someone and you're not getting anything back from them, that's not healthy. So I would ask you also not just to look at what is healthy, but to learn how to recognise what unhealthy is, and that way you can avoid the traps of walking into it. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Okay, pile number 2. This is a very loving person who's full of romance and hopes and wishes for romance. Oh my goodness, soulmate. Could it be any clearer than that? Okay, dear lovely person that's had the maiden card and you want a soulmate. This is the dragonfly. That's beautiful. This is the card that comes up for change, and also it's got the colours of the heart. The colours of the heart are the green and the pink. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. The vision. Being able to see what it is that you want. Knowing what it is that you want. Keep focusing on what it is that you want. Putting yourself in a position where you are soulmate status. And here's your knight in shining armour. Knight of Pentacles. Here he is, and he's got money as well, which is always helpful. And here's the Chariot, which speeds up the rest of the pack. So this is something that can happen fairly quickly. There's a King of Swords, There's a Seven of Cups. There's the Princess of Cups. Oh, look, there's another relationship card. Wanting the relationship, knowing that you can have it, figuring out how to get it. Isolation, look at that. That's great, isn't it? Okay, so there's got to be an element of not being isolated. Okay, so be aware. This is for you. This is something to learn. Be aware of what controlling cold men look and feel like. Be aware of what men who are addicted to things look like. That's drink, drugs, sex, all sorts of things people can be addicted to, and you can get reeled into that addictive pattern without even recognising that's what you're doing. So as the Maiden, Princess of Cups, wanting a soulmate and wanting to be desired and wanting someone to love her, you have to recognise what is unhealthy, what to avoid, so that you know what it is that you want to go for. So this isolation and the vision and the dragonfly is asking you to make sure you're being the cooperative component, you're being the soulmate, you're being the type of person that someone else would want to have a relationship with, and recognising and discarding what you don't want. So again, we're back to this learning process of patterns of behaviour which can be unhealthy, which you may not recognise because you've got experience in the past of these types of people, these types of men. And I'm saying men because the way this has come up, it looks like there's a female looking for a male soulmate and wanting the hearts and flowers and roses and romance, and looking in all the wrong places for it, looking where men are being controlling, demanding, commanding, taking control of the situation without having any empathy towards you, or they're wrapped up in their own mess of their own making, and you're mistaking that for thinking that there's something romantic about that. There's nothing romantic about a person who hasn't sorted their own inner demons out. But there is someone around that's going to be coming to you, and the Chariot suggests this is going to happen sooner rather than later. So please don't ignore this warning information in here, that there are a lot of men available, but they're not all worth having. And I know that sounds harsh, because every human being, every individual is worthy of relationship. But if you're looking for quality soulmate relationship where you're going to thrive and bloom, looking for it in a place where, with a damaged person, all that happens is more damage is created. Okay, so make sure that you're not a damaged person, and then recognise that if you've got feelings that say you really ought to be involved with a damaged person, you need to have a look at those and ask yourself why you feel the need to either rescue a damaged person, or you feel guilt about not being with a damaged person. Whatever it is that you're feeling on the inside, examine that and have a look at recognising your damage, so that you can equally not be a person that is damaged that someone else is going to choose, thinking that you're whole and happy. Because learning about yourself and recognising where your own scars are means you don't perpetuate the damage and you don't repeat the old patterns of the past. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Pile number 3. This one looks a little bit bruised and a little bit as though it has been through the ringer, but it's also still hopeful for love. Divine timing. There we go. Your love happens when it's meant to. Dream time. Your guardian angels are coming to you in your sleep to bring you help and guidance that you need. Puffin. Partnership. Look at that. Accept yourself and your colourful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. That's lovely, isn't it? The Queen of Pentacles. It's a woman around you with money. And the Lovers. That's perfect for this maiden / romantic choices card reading. The Lovers is a perfect card to come up, because it doesn't just mean new relationship, but it can also mean the choice of more than one person and more than one thing going on. So your love of your life may not be a person, it might be a situation or a career choice, or insert your own things that you love to do. And here you are, Six of Wands. There, perfect. That's a great card for the Maiden card, because it's a person who's, doesn't matter how old you are, it's a person who's starting to realise the importance of their own uniqueness. And instead of trying to be the same as everyone else, they're recognising actually their biggest thing about them is not being like everyone else. And the Magician card comes up for work and career as well. The Ten of Swords comes up for betrayal. And the Two of Cups comes up for relationships. There's two people putting their hearts out there and being scared of what's going to happen. Okay, so relationship is an option. It is, but there's been sorrow, a lot of sorrow around relationships, and it's sort of put you off. So now you're thinking, is there any point? Should I just heal myself and be in a happy relationship with myself? Well, the truth of that is, isn't it, that as soon as you are in a happy relationship with yourself and you've shed the spotlight on yourself, that's when your relationship options come along. And it is all about the timing, okay? It's the timing of it all. And if you want the intuition from your spirit guides, you get it in your sleep time. If you, before you go to bed, you listen to a sleep hypnosis on YouTube, like there are some great people who do sleep hypnosis at bedtime, Jason Stevenson, Michael Seeley, and you listen to them and you're gone, you can't remember, you wake up in the morning and you feel really rested from being lulled into a deep sleep. So depending on what you feel you need to change about your sleep patterns, whether you need to sleep longer, sleep deeper, or have dreams that you can remember, you can self-hypnotise yourself before you go to sleep. Make sure you have a pen and paper by your bed, and then you can write down any little snippet that comes back to you as you wake up. Because as you notice, they vanish, don't they? And you haven't learnt them. But your soul's learnt them, but your conscious self can't remember them during the day. And I find if you write things down, and this is what all the experts will tell you, the act of writing it down sends a message to your subconscious that you are paying attention, and then you will get more dreams happening for you. The more you do something, the more you connect with your higher self, the more rewarding it will be and the more you'll get back. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Okay, this giant, look at it. It's a giant solid red jasper that's got little cracks and lines and faults all over it. The Maiden that has got fault lines. Signs from spirit to let you know you're on the right path. The Wolf Keeper. The Hummingbird. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. That's lovely. I'm going to put that there with the signs because the pink colours suggest they all want to be together there. And you've also got the Five of Swords, which is pinky and reddy. It's the same warm energy. And yet the Nine of Coins, being happy with your material. Look at this. Again, you've got the pink energy. The Ace of Wands. Wow. The Ace of Wands is a very powerful card for manifestation. So conjuring up what you want by putting it into your mind. You see what she's doing here with these signs? It looks like she's just putting her arm out like a wand and having her wishes fulfilled. And this is the same energy. It's the energy that you are the person that can conjure up your future. The Princess of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Okay, so that's what's happened here. There's been a relationship that hasn't been. And you're like this. You've also got the Ace of Cups. So you are capable of healing yourself, participation. Now, this suggests a relationship that hasn't ended well, to say the least. Okay, these two sword people, they're now very cold towards each other. There's no warmth there, despite the fact that this was a fully blown, fully committed relationship in every sense of the word. But now it's over and it's ended. It's worse than they've just gone their separate ways. There's now hateful feelings towards each other. But in order for you to look towards having a warmer, happier relationships in the world, you have to let go of this and recognise who you're being in that role. The Wolf Keeper, this is the person, that's you, who is capable of either feeding the inner wolf that's full of hate and anger and fear and distrust, or you can feed the inner wolf that is full of love and harmony and wants to blend with other people and wants to have a new relationship. But it is your choice. At this stage, this reading says that you've been through the mill. Okay, that's why this rock is battered and bruised. You've been through it, dear lovely person who is still in the phase of the maiden from the point of view of love. Okay, so it doesn't matter how old you are, when you've got to this point of recognizing, hold on, that what I've just been through with that person, that wasn't love, because it's ended like this. Like, how can love end on such a sour note? Was there any love there to begin with? And it causes you to doubt yourself as to what you've done and how you've got to be where you are. But the truth of it is, if you were looking for love in all the wrong places, then the only thing you're going to come up with is a world of pain and arguing and distrust, right? That's all that's going to happen. So now, in order to participate, if this is what you want to do, if you want to participate in relationship status with other people, and I think from this reading, there's no big love that's going to happen next. If you want to dip your toes back in the water of relationships and romance, there's going to be a few steps before you find the guy or the girl who is going to be a long-term commitment for you, because you've got this healing process to go through. And unfortunately, that healing process, you can't go from huge pain to love of your life without going through the process of, how did I get here? But at the same time, there's signs from spirit, and if this is what you really want and you're really trying to manifest a big love for yourself, you just have to carry on focusing on thinking it and feeling it and speeding up that healing process so that you can be as loving as you can and trusting as you can towards anyone that comes your way. So you can be open to a new partner, because there's no openness here towards a new partner coming to you. But the story is also that by joining in with groups of people and groups of activities, it takes the pressure off just that one-on-one situation. So you haven't got to go out dating with someone specifically looking for, oh, I want the love of my life. If you go out and get involved in community projects and things that groups of people do happily together, naturally, organically, whatever it is that floats your boat, you know, whether you like going and picking up litter with groups of people, whether you like going to the library, whether you like going to the theatre, or you like joining in political events or reading groups, whatever it is that you like to do, go along and start doing those regularly, and you will find new relationships build and grow, and love grows that way. And then you regain your confidence because you become easier to interact with, you find it easier to get on with people, you meet a few people who aren't awful, and then you rebuild your confidence and your faith up in other humans again. That's how that works. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello, dear lovely YouTubers. Thank you ever so much for watching my YouTube channel. What I'm going to do today is have another look at the Mother card, because recently I did the Maiden, the Mother and the Crone, and I don't feel like I did them justice because I did one reading for each card. Whereas when you look at the Mother card and the types of people that are on the planet as mothers, and the types of mothers that we're going to be and who we're being as mothers, we are often mothers before we become mothers, aren't we? We become mothers to our friends, we can't become mothers to our pets, right? And then once we become actual mothers to people, what type of mothers are we? What type of mother was your mother? Look at these. Because when you look at all of our psychological relationships, a lot of it comes back to how we were treated by our mothers when we were younger. That feeling we got from our mum, it wasn't always loving. Of course it wasn't. Mothers are complex, multifaceted people. And I've got a new elephant to join the collection, the red Jasper. This is a fiery elephant. This is the fiery, passionate mum that people often misunderstand. This coloured elephant is very peaceful and calm and loving in a soft, passive way. But what is she feeling underneath? That's what she's giving off to the outside world. That's how the outside world see her. And this one, this spiritual one, but also this one that's got mental health issues. I see this because purely the colour purple associated with the mental health, mental well-being I should say. This one that struggled with the thought of being a mother and the responsibility of it all. And then there's this one that took to motherhood like a duck to water without any issues or problems at all. Okay? And then we've got the mothers that won't look at themselves and are determined to make their children like little versions of themselves. And there are all sorts of things that mothers can do to their children that cause them damage that they wouldn't deliberately cause them. Of course not. And it is circular, this pattern of the mother, isn't it? Mothers' meetings often happen in circles. We form circles as people to join, don't we, in groups? It's just what we do naturally when we've got a little one. It's very structured now with society. We have little groups that we know we're going to go to at 1 o'clock, or we're going to go to swimming at midday, or we're going to go to baby massage or baby yoga, they do now. And these card readings, I don't know what's going to come up for these mothers, but the reason I've chosen the elephant is because the elephant has the matriarch as the leader, don't they? And everyone follows the lead elephant. Everyone follows the main mother of the herd because she instinctively knows the way. She knows how to keep them all safe. She knows how to protect them all. She won't lead them into dangerous territory. She won't. Now, I'm only going to open... Oops, sorry, I don't need to turn that one over. I'm only going to open cards which... Airplane going over, excuse me. Airplane's going over, no dog's barking. I'm doing this reading at night time. Dear lovely people who are watching this YouTube video at some sort of weird angle. My camera's managed to make a weird angle there. Yes, I'm only going to open cards, mainly the oracle cards, because the mother energy, I feel, is a very sacred spiritual energy. And then I'm going to do 1, maybe 2 tarot cards. So there's not going to be a story unfold, it's just going to be a picture of who this person is or who this person was. Who this person is and who this person was. And as I was doing that, I'm putting down these animal cards, the spirit of the animal oracle, and I'm thinking that each of these that have got animals on them, next time you see this animal, if your mum's in spirit, that's the spirit animal that your mum is choosing to put in your path, so you know it's a hello from your mum. Okay, and then this card, which is the Patrick Gamble Oracle card, is also representative of her deep nature. This is her soul and her journey on the earth, that she was there for apart from being a mother. Okay, being a mum isn't our only purpose in life. Mums have a spiritual journey. Part of being a mum is the sacrificial part of it that doesn't feel like a sacrifice to the mums that are in it. There's rarely a mum that would say, yeah, I've sacrificed 20 years of my life, or 30 years of my life, or 40 years of my life, or however long it is. Because generally mums don't see it as a sacrifice, but it is time set aside where another person's needs are coming before your own. Because it doesn't matter how you feel, it doesn't matter what's going on for you. There's a child that needs feeding. There are other people's needs to be met, and often mum's needs get put not just at the back of the list. They don't exist. Okay, what mum needs doesn't even feature. So here we go, pile number 1. I'm going to do the red pile first. I'm going to do the fiery mum first, and then I'm going to do the mum that's got mental health problems, and then I'm going to do The spiritual mum who loved being a mum and took to it like a duck to water. Good for her. Majority of us don't take to motherhood and parenting like ducks to water. Majority of us have it smacked around like it hits our spirit like a sledgehammer. It does, because of the change and the transition and who we have to rapidly become. If we haven't grown up prior to having the baby, we have to rapidly grow up once the baby arrives, don't we? Here we go, there's a little red Jasper. Let's have a look at what cards come up for generally what people consider to be the angry mum. Okay, divine timing. So people see her as angry because she's being so forceful and passionate, but really she's just doing what she feels needs to be done in order to get the job done. And for her, getting the job done means bringing the money in. It means providing for you, and it's having an awareness of what was going on for her, instead of just blaming her and looking at her and thinking, my God, she was a terrible mother, right? Because that is what people think about a parent who is just focusing on the material concerns of life, like how to pay the bills and how to juggle finances and how to get everything paid for and covered. And the needs of the children sometimes do get left behind in that situation. Now, this little frog is what your mum in spirit is going to bring to you on the earth plane as a way to say hi. Now, the frog is a symbol of prosperity, okay? And so she's also reminding you not to make the same mistakes that she did. Not that she made mistakes as in she wouldn't do it any other way, but now she realises, obviously in spirit everyone does, that money and material concerns aren't the only thing to be worried about. I know, right? There's a lot more that goes on this plane, earth plane, than we can see. But sometimes people get stuck in the pattern and the groove of just working for a living and just thinking this is it. You live, you breathe, you do this life experience, and then you die. Now I'm going to read what it says about this frog. Let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy, abundance and good fortune await you. Okay? And also everything happens with divine timing. So there's a little bit of forgiveness that needs to go on here between this person who's watching this reading and their mum in spirit. And forgiveness for all the things that you considered she did or didn't do. But the timing has to be right for you to be able to do that. Okay, and when you've come to the point where you've forgiven her for being so materialistic and set in her ways about reaching her goals, she will be able to come to you in your sleep state, and you'll be able to communicate with her and be able to talk to her to heal that relationship. So there's some healing that can be done here, which is great news. And this awareness card is reminding you that you can improve your awareness of what is going on in your spiritual life. You don't have to just follow the path that she did because she did it. Just because she did it doesn't make it right. Okay, it might have been right for her at that time. Doesn't mean it's necessarily right for you just to copy what she did. And that's another unfortunate thing about parents, isn't it? They give us some patterns of behaviour, like, you know, when a duck is born and the first thing it sees, it just sort of imprints on that and it thinks it's its parent. It's like that. The parent gives us a DNA pattern that we then just plod through and just copy, unless we stop to open up our awareness and think, oh, hold on, I'm doing that just like my mum did it. And if you can see that it was a mistake for her, or that she could have improved it, then you know that it's going to be the same mistake for you. If it didn't work for her, it's not going to work for you. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Let's work with the mum that's got the mental health issues, or should we say the mum that might have been quite easily driven mad by her children. But people wouldn't have seen that. They would have just seen that she had something wrong with her. As far as they were concerned, she was the one that had the problem. Self-acceptance. That's lovely, isn't it? Self-acceptance. So that's the healing that she will now have reached. The self-acceptance. Oh my goodness. The actual elephant card. Oh, love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. Oh, this is lovely. This is a message from your elephant mum in spirit. Your elephant mum, and she will be laughing at that that description of her, I'm sure. She wasn't an elephant mum. Grandfather Moon, this suggests again that there's some distance between mother and child before the death, before her passing. There's a rift opened up, which again is quite common, particularly if you've got someone who's misunderstood. And that is what happens when somebody appears to be suffering mentally. They're misunderstood, aren't they? Because they don't understand themselves. They want themselves to be different, and they haven't accepted themselves. How can anyone else accept them? Because you can accept a person and all their flaws and their mental health issues and problems, but you're not accepting the inner person that they are. You're just accepting their mental health conditions as like, well, that's who you are. No, it isn't. That's just how their mind was working because of all the experiences that they'd had on the planet, which were all too much for them. Yeah, it was all too much for them. They just retreated to a nest of their own, so they didn't want to come out and play anymore. But you is a message, again, it's going to be the same message from all the mums in spirit. Don't make the same mistakes that she made. Okay, now she couldn't have done anything else, and sometimes people can't do anything else, but she doesn't want to see you go down the same route that she went down. And the way to come out of this, that path she got stuck in, is to accept that you can heal. You can heal your heart. You can heal your relationships with other people. This friendliness is the feeling of love. Look, and we've got love here. She's still tied to the love that's there, tying her in bits. The love is still there. The love that she felt for her children is never going to go away. But she wants you to know that even though there was that distance, and even though it was like and I'm getting the word chasm, CHASM, it was a deep, deep rift, because you couldn't understand why she had to be how she was. But she didn't have to be how she was. She had no choice because she didn't know any different. Whereas now, we have a different understanding of what mental health issues are. And we've got different ways of healing. We've got more acceptance from people. She lived in a time when it was frowned upon. She had to hide it and mask it a lot. And so you would only see it inside. She was a different person outside who she showed the other people to be. So to the outside, she looked like she was coping and managing. But on the inside, you knew different. She wasn't coping. She wasn't managing. And she had a horrible experience of her mental health just keeping her in a prison, really. And she's asking you just to know that you don't have to do the same thing. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. We've got the little green elephant. We've got Harmonious mum. We've got mum who knows the importance of being calm and secure and not moving every 5 minutes, and signs. Oh, wonderful. This mum in spirit who gave you a calm upbringing. Calm as in she didn't keep moving you. At least she did keep you in one place. She's going to be bringing you signs. And the sign she's going to be bringing you is the whale, the adventure. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Okay, so a lot of her calmness and not doing anything unpredictable was based in fear. And she's telling you that you don't need to be as scared as she was. New beginnings. Oh, she wants you to see you step out and do something new. Look at this. She wants you to be brave. Isn't that lovely? She wants something different from you. Healing. She wants to see you healed, and she wants to see you balanced. So there's an element of your life at the moment which isn't balanced. Okay? So she's asking you to really look at what you're doing with your life, with your mind, with your body, with your soul, to balance what you need from life. Your whole soul is calling out for something, and she's asking you to not restrict yourself how she did for the security of it, but to dare to be adventurous and to go out and try new things, because life is too short, and before you know it, it's over. Okay? So she's going to help by sending you signs, and all you have to do is look out for them, be brave, and recognise when you're feeling fearful, that's the part of you that needs healing. Okay? So reach out for something new. Reach out for the new. See how it feels. If it feels fearful, just sit quietly with the feeling and process it and heal it and let go of it. So you can do any sort of ritual to let go of feelings that you don't want. You can sit with a piece of paper and a pen and a jar, and you can tear up little bits of paper and write on the bits of paper what you're feeling, why you're feeling it. Screw it up into a little piece of paper and put it in the jar. And then when you've got a jar full over sort of a period of a week, 2 weeks, and maybe on a full moon, you can go out to the garden, a nice safe place obviously, and set light to all those feelings. Just set light to them, watch them burn in the jar. Put the lid back on. If you've got a jar with a lid, watch the oxygen go out and watch it die. Snuff it out and then bury the ashes or scatter the ashes over the earth and give it back to Mother Earth. And you can do a little ritual. You can find some words to say. You can say, thank you, Mother Earth, for this experience. I'm giving it back to you. Thanks, but no thanks. And then you do the same thing with what it is that you want. So whatever it is that you want to bring into your world, whatever you feel you're brave enough to experience, write that down on a piece of paper. Okay? So when you know what it is you're scared of, it's easier to figure out how far you can go, how far you can push yourself. Write all your things that you'd really, really like to do, a piece of paper, fold them up, put them in the jar, and then once you've burnt all the old ones and that's gone, and you've got a new jar, and this is over the same period, by the time of the new moon, 2 weeks later, you can get them all out and have a look and see if you've got any negative feelings or any feelings of fear come up about the ideas that you've written on your bits of paper. And if you've got the feelings of fear, you repeat the process. You do it all again. What am I scared of? You just sit with it and let it go. Anything that feels fearful needs healing. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Okay. And then last but not least, the beautiful mother in spirit who took to it all like an angel that she was. Okay? Oh, soulmate. Beautiful. Look at this. So your mum was so close to you. She was your soulmate. She came out of your same soul group. And this is why it was easy for her to be able to have you. Oh, lovely. Butterfly. She's going to bring butterflies to you. That's her symbol to let you know she's around. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Okay, forest essence. Look at this. You have got the natural instincts of the fairy and the person that can communicate with the trees, that can move amongst the elementals and the spiritual creatures of the world and bring information for yourself. The Knight of Cups. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? And the Fool is again trying something new. Okay, so your mum's letting you know that there's a soulmate person coming for you, if that's what you want. If you want to go out and find a new adventure, half of that is going to involve a love story, then follow the butterflies. Yep, I know, it sounds like a crazy thing to suggest, doesn't it? But she's going to be around you, helping you to recognise when someone is good for you or not. And she has instilled in you enough knowledge of your own spiritual intuition, how to pay attention to your hunches, etc., that you are going to be able to follow the signs. You're going to be able to follow the nature, the natural instincts that are just within you, and you are going to be able to find your new person and your new start. And that is fantastic. I love that card. Love that reading. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Now, some stones for the crone, because again, I made this little crone part of the Maiden, Mother, Crone trifecta. So I only had one reading for each of those cards. And really, I don't feel like I did it justice. This is the 13th card. Of course it is. Number 13, the crone. What is it going to bring us? It's going to bring us wisdom and spiritual messages. And that's why I've chosen 4 white stones. These are the purest stones that I possess. Although this one is a little bit double pointed, so it suggests some sort of harshness there with that one. This one has got an attachment still. So this one's still attached to some things on the material plane. This one is not as clear seeing as they could be. Sometimes they're a little bit confused. But this one has got it all sussed. This one is completely clairvoyant and see-through. Okay, so this person has got it all down, the wisdom, the spirituality, the psychic gifts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the cards and just do a little card spread for each one of these 4 types of crone, or person who has lived some life experience and they're on their spiritual journey and their spiritual path, and they're heading for the end. Not the end of their life, but the end of the worst part of the learning. The learning process of life can be very painful, can't it? Some of us learn the easy way. We take advantage of our ancestors. We look at people around us. We see what they've done or haven't done. And so we manage to avoid a lot of pain if we're smart. Unfortunately, a lot of us in the early stages of our lives, and that's just part of the process, when we're young, we think we know it all, and we think, oh, just because that happened to them, it's not going to happen to me like that. And then we do it again, don't we? We make the same mistakes, and the pain sometimes and the fallout from that can take years, decades to overcome. Now, at the crone stage, that's it. You've done all the worst to yourself. You've done as much damage to yourself as it's possible to do as a human, and you've come out the other side, and this is you now traipsing towards what sometimes people don't get to this stage where they're feeling happy about what's ahead of them, okay, because they get stuck, their feet get stuck in the mud. Now imagine a crow with boots on. I am going to do some tarot cards for the crone because I feel the crone is deserving. The crone is probably also deserving of a Patrick Campbell Oracle card. So I'm going to open a lovely tarot card just for some light relief on the crone situation. And I feel that to get to crone status means you have really gone through some life experiences, and in order to achieve crone status, it's an absolute blessing, right? People often, if they haven't been able to leave their youth behind, and I feel that could be this card here, this pile here, it's people who cling to their youth, right? Now, making yourself look nice and trying to appear youthful is one thing. That's not what this is. It's the idea that, hold on a minute, is that these upside down? Let's turn them around the right way. It's the idea that as a crone character, you are now in a position of having knowledge. You're in a position of knowing information, which doesn't put you in a position of maiden anymore. And yet somehow these people that are still attached to wanting to be like the maiden still, they want to have the opportunities back that they had at the beginning, and they refuse to come to terms with the idea that their life has changed in oh so many ways. I'm feeling a Beatles song coming on. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. It's that, isn't it? It's recognising that those young carefree days are gone. I'm not suggesting in any way at all, right, that as you get older, you've got to expect to have a less interesting time. But it's quite the opposite of that. I'm suggesting that if as you get older you don't move through the process of changing spiritually and changing your role of who you are and who you show other people to be, you keep yourself stuck. Spiritually you won't grow, and you just stay behind trying to be something that you've grown out of without recognising, and everyone else can see that you've grown out of it and you're no longer that person. But it's not being able to let go of the past. So I'm going to do that one first because it's really resonating with me that there's somebody out there who doesn't want to let go of their earlier stages in life, which could be the maiden, could be the mother, it could be any of the other archetypes that they're clinging to, which is no longer serving them. So should we have a look? Oh, Guardian Angel, very powerful card, letting you know, or trying to let you know, what you need to be doing to be different. The Black Stallion, that's again very forceful energy that's coming from within you because you're so determined to stick it out. This, you're hanging on. Pronghorn. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Again, this is not an age-related issue, but some people, if they're in the crone stage of their life, and some people can get to crone stage at quite an early age, can't they? You can be a crone in the crone stage when, let's see, I mean, technically you could be a mother 16, 17, 18. You could rapidly grow up and become a wise mother by 25. You could be in the crone stage at 25 onwards. The majority of us don't reach wisdom stage in those early stages of parenting, let's face it, because we're busy, right? But eventually the crone will come upon you where you find different things interesting in your life. You've got these children, your karma around them, you recognise that what you do around your children comes back to you. They just reflect back to you who you're being, and then you have to grow up because otherwise it just causes grief all round. However, look at this. This crone here wants a new romance. This crone here wants a choice of lovers twice. This is definitely going to happen for this crone. And integration. Here we go again. This is the reason why it's not happening. First of all, this person is not going out and playing and being social and blending with other people. So this person is not having the chance to go and meet her new choice of partner. But there's going to be one. Now, the thing with the lovers, the Two of Cups, it's not the Lovers card, sorry, it is the Two of Cups. The Lovers card means a choice. This Two of Cups, it's just a new relationship, but because it's there twice, I would suggest that's a very strong, powerful indication that this is likely to happen, and it's likely to happen soon, but you have to go out and find it if you want it, and know that your new partner might be unlike anything that you've experienced before. You've spent enough time waiting, you have to go out and get it now. That's what you want. It's time for action. That's what Pronghorn said. Pronghorn said, go and get it. Round of applause. Round of applause. Dear little attached crone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. What's this pack of cards going to bring? Support. Okay. So for the crone who's got a double-edged sword there, for the crone that's finding it difficult to be the crone status, there's support. Know that you're not on your own. Oh yeah, look, the pack of lions. Lion, higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. And that is part of being the crone, isn't it? It's making choices for more than just you. The majority of people, when they get to the crone stage, they have to consider a lot more than just themselves. And you've got the Moon card, deep mysterious Moon card, and the very spiritual Hierophant, and the mystery of it all, the mystery of life, the universe and everything. See, I think that is the trifecta, the mystery of the spiritual, the mystery of the psychological, and the mystery of life itself. You are in a feeling where you just don't know what is going on here. And the cards that have come up for you are the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Cups. That's a balanced financial situation and feeling happy. Actually, the Six, because that's harmony and upliftment. Look how these lovely colours match. Look, the support and upliftment match, don't they? The trifecta of wanting a new relationship. The Three of Cups often comes up when there's news of a wedding, and happiness, emotional, like something to celebrate, because the 3 is the powerful number with this trifecta that I'm picking up here. And yet there's still confusion, and with all these blues and greys, there is confusion. It is like there's a bit of shadow, a bit of shade over the whole situation. You just don't know which direction to go in. So for someone in the crone phase, that is a difficult situation. And here we have this lovelorn woman who's been leaned over by a prince, look. But she's holding a blue rose. So here we have the blue of, I don't know whether that's sadness or depression, I'm not sure. But what we have as a reply and an answer to this question is intensity. Intensity of feelings and emotion, which isn't here. So that's what's needed here. In order to provide a balance, there needs to be a warming up of the feelings. So you're feeling warmer and more joy about what's going on around you. So you are in a state of confusion, and you don't know anything anymore. That's how you're feeling, like you just don't know anything anymore. But the truth of it is, you know more than most people. And the more you know, the harder it can be to make sense of it. Because as little humans, there's only so much we can cope with, isn't there, before we go, oh, I don't know anything anymore, give up. And that's where you are now. You're at that stage of thinking, I just don't understand anything anymore. I'm lost. I'm sort of drowning in my own psychological mess that I've got going on in the background. And yet also other people still looking to you as though you're the person that knows what's occurring. What is occurring? So for you, this intensity, I feel like you are going to burn off a load of the things that you don't need, and you're going to come out into this crone phase feeling warmer and happier and more contented about the fact that you are in this phase of your life. Don't worry, dear lovely crone, whether you're new to croneness or whether you're just confused by the whole transitional stages. This upliftment card tells me that you're going to be soon finding the light, okay? The mystery, the confusion will clear, and you're going to be swimming towards the light, okay? Swim towards the light of other people that have already been through what you're going through. That's always the answer, isn't it? Thanks for watching. Bye for now. We've got these two stones left. One's very clear and one's still a little bit confused and clouded. This one has had such a life experience that they've made it to crone, and trust. The angels asking you to trust, and this is how powerful you are. Look at this. I love this card. Can you see how this matches the colours of the crone? Look at this. There's not that many colours in the crone card, are there? And look at the colours in this personal choice. Do you know what this personal choice means? It means that you choose what your animal spirit guide is. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. So you've reached a point in your path of wisdom and spiritualness. Here it is again, where you are the person who is capable of making these really powerful choices now. Judgment, look at this. Let go of judging yourself. Let go of being harsh to yourself. It's time to work on your inner critic. Time to let go of what's not working for you on the inside. And again, we have the strength card. You've made it to cronedom with the inner strength that you need. And time. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And look at these lovely colours, just perfectly matched, don't they? Time and death, which of course is a new beginning. Death of something and the loss of something does mean a new beginning, and you've got the world at your feet because you are in a position to know what it is you need to do. Now, this pack got 2 Patrick Gamble cards, Healing Hands. Now, I feel like it's not you that needs the healing. I feel that now you're in this position. You're the person that does the healing. So you're the person that has healing hands to offer the world. The Hanged Woman. There's been a period of time waiting for the world to notice you or to make any impact in your newfound knowledge and experience and what you can offer. There's been a time where it doesn't seem like anyone's noticed. And this card, which is, it's not the Magician in the tarot card, it's the person who won't stop arguing. Okay, dear Crone, please don't be the person that won't stop arguing. Look, this is the playfulness of the Joker, but an insanely playful. Okay, for people who aren't in the position of enjoying life, right? When you look back at other people and how they're behaving in their worlds, if you're in a state of playing, they won't understand you. They won't get it. And this card comes up often for somebody who wants to rule over you, who wants to tell you what to do, and who wants to argue. There's always a source of permanent arguing. But you've risen above that now. You're not even entertaining this idea of arguing with this person. You're just so playful and on your own cloud that you've got the wisdom to know that you're not going to entertain that. You're not even going to entertain any engaging with arguing, because you know that your happiness is the most important thing for you to be able to help other people. If you're not happy, you can't help anyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Okay, clear seeing Crone. Cutting through all the nonsense. Oh yes, this Crone's got 2 angel cards. We haven't had 2 angel cards for a while. Romance and nature. Okay, dear lovely Crone, we're going to open up the rest of these cards and see what this means. Romance can literally mean that, romance, or it can mean, when you feel really excited, engaged about a new project, something new coming up, it is like it's the new love of your life. But then also we've got this nature card come up, so we've got the 2 sides to this. There's a time for you to spend on your own and in nature in order to reconnect with your spiritual self. Ah, clarity, perfect. Couldn't ask for a better card. Clarity. I feel that as in the Crone stage, you're the person that offers clarity to other people rather than you're the person that's in need of clarity. And here we have another Patrick Gamble card, and it's the wish. Okay, so are you wishing for this romance? Because the universe is offering you what you would like. So all you have to do in the Crone phase is to let it out to the universe to know what it is you want. Okay? And the owl. Choose to know the truth because you can. Open your inner vision, your clear viewing, your inner vision. You can see through deception, cutting through the nonsense. Let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up. Magic and wisdom are your birthright. Magic and wisdom. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? Magic and wisdom are your birthright. The wisdom of nature and the magic of the wish. The 6 of Pentacles. This is harmonious with the money. Financial harmony. Ooh, and the Wheel of Fortune. This is changes that come about always. I love the Wheel of Fortune, although you never know where you are on that cycle. But as the Crone, you're likely to be heading towards the happy change. And the 10 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune twice. That's unmistakable, isn't it? So we can't ignore the Wheel of Fortune or the Scales of Justice. No, we can't. And there's the romance. Look, there's the woman on the balcony. And there's the man at her feet. And he's playing a little flute. And even the cats are at his feet. He's got everyone, a charming person at his feet. But it's the 10 of Cups. It's been very, very happy. And the 10 of Wands. They're depending on the reading and where this 10 of Wands comes up, this can feel like carrying all the burdens on your own, but at the same time, each of these wands are resources that you've got available to you to wave as tools to make changes in your life. But the Wheel of Fortune twice suggests to me that not only are you going to have changes of your own making, but there are going to be other bigger changes that come about in your life that you haven't chosen, but you have asked for. So you're going to get more than you wish for. You're going to get what you change yourself, and you're going to get what you wish for. So you're going to have very powerful changes coming your way. And this card is asking you to turn in inwards. So you know this is the Crone already, I don't need to tell you this. But by turning inwards and looking at all of the inner turmoil that needs clearing out, you will find justice. You will find peace and justice. And there is justice in peace. There is justice in being able to see the truth. So you hang on to that, you look at it on the inside and cling to it and watch the changes happen on the outside. And you haven't got to do anything unless you really want to. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.